Hat, sunglasses, Pepsi, notes, sources, thick skin. Check. You already know. Let's go. Welcome to Golden Blue today, everybody. This is a college football channel. So if you like college football, hit the like and subscribe button. It's that simple. Also, send gear to represent your team and be a part of my background forever. All you have to do is send it to P.O. Box 360, Liberty, South Carolina 29657. Well, it does seem that Hugh Freeze is taken off the board as far as a potential head coach to take the place of Neal Brown. It seems that way. It has been announced that Liberty has offered Hugh Freeze an extension, guaranteed money, 8 more years, $5 million, and Hugh Freeze accepted this. Well, for one thing, this tells me that people have been talking to Hugh Freeze, and Hugh Freeze was interested. And Liberty's like, oh man, we got to do something. We have got to do something. We have ourselves a great head coach. We need to keep him at Liberty so we can compete in the mighty Conference USA. Well, you got your wish. It looks like it. It looks like it. Now, things can change. I don't know what the buyout looks like. Maybe it's just the remainder of whatever the contract is like in total revenue. I don't know. I haven't looked at the actual contract. All I know is it's guaranteed money over 8 seasons, $5 million a year. Now, the number that I heard that West Virginia offered Hugh Freeze was $6.5 million. How much of that is guaranteed? I don't know. But I do know that Liberty has guaranteed him a lot of money. Hugh Freeze is a multi-millionaire. He's probably making more money than he'll ever be able to spend in his entire life. His children will be fine. His children's children will probably be fine as well. So Hugh Freeze, it looks like he's off the board. Not to fear. As long as West Virginia acts quickly, then there's still some hope as far as getting a good replacement for Neal Brown. Listen, I'm done talking about Neal Brown. Maybe there's hope we can keep Neal Brown. Maybe we're going to win 5 in a row. Maybe we beat TCU, blah, 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 blah. No, I'm done. I'm done. I gave Neal Brown more time than what I should have. Way more time. I am done. I am done. No, there's no hope in my eyes. And Shane Lyons, if you don't get on board with this fire, you need to go to. And that's what I'm hearing as well. People are giving him boosters, are giving Shane Lyons the opportunity to jump on board the Fire Neal Brown bandwagon, and if he don't get on, he's fired too. And I've also heard that Neal Brown has come to peace with this as well. Are we going to be hearing about a resignation? Because remember, Neal Brown promised us that if things started to not look good and things were not working out, he was going to resign. So there's a question right there. Is Neal Brown a man of his word? Because if he resigns, I don't think West Virginia owes him a penny. I don't. And I've also heard that there's negotiations going on with his buyout. So a lot of things to talk about with Neal Brown. But what I want to talk about is who's going to replace Neal Brown. Looks like Hugh Freeze is off the board. I like Lance Leipold, but I think he's going to go to either Nebraska or Wisconsin. He's a Midwest type of guy. He will be able to recruit very, very well up there. So I think it's going to be Nebraska or Wisconsin. And if I had to pick one right now, I would pick Wisconsin. I think Lance Leipold is going to be the next head coach at Wisconsin. But there are some other names out there. And listen, we tried the group of 5, best available head coach with Neal Brown. It didn't work out. So no offense, Jamie Chadwell. No offense, Sean Clark. No offense to any other great head coaches in the group of 5 conferences. I'm not interested. And hopefully West Virginia's not interested. Hopefully we learned our lesson. But there's 2 names that really stick out to me as far as who West Virginia should get next. The first one, Tom Herman. And I've gotten booed out of the building for mentioning Tom Herman. Oh no, I just don't think he'd fit in West Virginia. Listen. Right now, West Virginia needs the coach that can get us out of this grave. Okay, we don't need a long-term, well, in 10 years, I think we can be 8-4, and we'll be back on our feet. No. We need a coach that can get us out of this grave within 2 years. You heard me, 2 years. The clock is a-ticking. 2 years. West Virginia has become a laughingstock. Listen, I started this YouTube channel to bring light on West Virginia, to educate people on West Virginia, to bring a voice to West Virginia. Well, it just so happens that right when I start a YouTube channel, West Virginia starts to suck. Thank you, Neal Brown, for that one. Now I get laughed at all the time. So I really appreciate that, man. I really do. I really appreciate that. But now it's time to get a coach that can get us out of the grave immediately. And you heard me, 2 years. And I think there's 3 guys that can do it. Well, Hugh Freeze was numero uno. It looks like he's taken off the board. Looks like. We'll see what happens down the road. But there's 2 other names. The first one, Tom Herman, and I know I've gotten booed, and I talked about that earlier, but Tom Herman is a guy that can get us out of this stinking grave immediately. Well, he was fired over there at Texas. I heard that he didn't get along with players. He wasn't winning over there. Do your research. Do your research. Yeah, he had a 10-win season, then had a letdown year, 8-5, and then the COVID year, 7-3. Basically, 1 play away from getting to the Big 12 championship, and he got fired. That's not why he got fired. And he didn't get fired because he was fighting with the players like everybody's heard. I heard there was a lot of tussles between him and the players. No. The reason he got fired is he didn't get along with those snobby boosters over there at Texas. Listen, everybody has boosters, and most of them are snobbish. But Texas, their boosters are on a whole different level. They're basically the boss over there. I mean, not just, we think you should hire this guy. We think you should do... No, it's more like, you're going to do this, and you're going to do that. You're going to hire this guy, and then the guy that you hire, we're going to tell him what to do. And Tom Herman didn't want to hear any of that. And they kept butting heads like that. That's why he was fired. Lack of success. He didn't have lack of success. So no, that was not the reason. And not getting along with the players, that wasn't the reason either. Tom Herman would be a great hire at West Virginia. He is a great recruiter. He already has experience in the Big 12. He had success in the Big 12. Great candidate, great hire for West Virginia, but he's not the only one. The other one, and I've heard this from a lot of people actually, Matt Rhule. Yes, Matt Rhule. He's already proved that he can do what West Virginia needs him to do. West Virginia needs a guy that can get us out of this grave and back on the mountaintop within a couple years. Guess what? Matt Rhule did that over there at Baylor. And yes, Carolina did come a-calling, and he left Baylor. In comes Dave Aranda. Baylor's still peachy keen. And I think Matt Rhule set up Dave Aranda quite nicely, to be honest with you. So, that kind of adds to it. Not only is he the guy that can get you out of the ditch immediately, but he can actually set your program up for success even if he leaves. Oh, gold and blue, dude. I'm worried that West Virginia's going to be a stepping stone. You're just going to have to accept that. Right now, I'm okay with West Virginia being a stepping stone as long as that coach that uses us as a stepping stone brings us up and lays a foundation to where the next coach can have success. Baylor is a glaring example of a head coach that did exactly that. He brought Baylor out of the dumps, back on the mountaintop. Yes, he bolted for Carolina, but he laid the foundation, and now Dave Aranda is having success over there at Baylor. That's exactly, you can't script it out any better than that. That's exactly what West Virginia needs. Duh. Can't worry about being a stepping stone. West Virginia's not Texas. West Virginia's not USC. West Virginia's not Michigan. West Virginia's not Alabama. Texas A&M. The list goes on and on and on. You just have to accept it. Right now, we need the guy that gets us out of the bottom of the barrel and back on top. If he bolts in 3 or 4 years, that's fine. Then we can get our guy who's long-term, maybe a West Virginia guy. But first, we need the foundation to where we can have that long-term success. And we just don't have it right now. We are a toilet right now. Toilet! We could finish dead last in the Big 12 this year. Yes, real possibility that West Virginia finishes dead last. And it's not because of lack of talent. No. West Virginia actually has a lot of good talent on the football team. The problem is identity crisis. We have no idea what type of offense we want to run. The defense is all over the place. So even though we're recruiting at a high level, we're trying to fit the round peg into a square hole. I guess he's a great athlete, so he'll adapt to this scheme. Even though he's made for this scheme and we need to run that scheme, it's just all over the place. We have no idea what we are. And that's the problem. A lot of good talent in West Virginia, but a big-time identity crisis. We need somebody to come in that knows exactly what type of offense he wants to run and then recruits to fill that offense specifically. Same thing with the defense. And I think Tom Herman and Matt Rhule need to be at the top of the list, and West Virginia needs to be talking to these guys right now, if not sooner. Otherwise, you know, the same thing that happened with Hugh Freeze. And I'm not saying Hugh Freeze is totally done. There's no hope whatsoever. But that is a huge hurdle now. Huge. Let's not let that happen with Tom Herman and Matt Rhule. Because remember, Auburn, I guarantee you this, Auburn will fire Brian Harsin at the end of the year. So we will have to compete with Auburn for some of these high caliber coaches. So we need to rip the Band-Aid off, get this over with, and start talking to these coaches and get it nailed down immediately. Y'all let me know in the comments section. Number 1, what do you think about Tom Herman and Matt Rhule? And number 2, what do you think West Virginia's chances are of getting Matt Rhule or Tom Herman? That's all I got for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on my next show.